All right, here we've got a Frigidaire top mount fridge. Issue is it's not cooling properly. Model number FFTR1835VSS. And the customer complaint is it's not cool, it's not, whether it's warm in the refrigerator cabinet and it's kind of slushy in the freezer. Looking at, listening to it there, I don't hear any fans running, no air coming through the damper in the back. So, but then there's ice all on the back wall, which usually denotes that we got a defrost issue, which means it could be the timer, the heating rod, the bi-metal thermostat, or the evaporator fan. So we're going to, it's got two 1/4-inch screws on the top left and right. If it doesn't have an ice maker, it has a little cover on it. I have to use maybe a little a flat blade screwdriver to get that cap off of it, and then you'll find that other 1/4-inch screw. We got 4 tabs that have to be pressed in, 2 on each side, on the left and the right. And those tabs have to be pressed in so you can get that back cover off. And on this one, the ice is actually kind of has it stuck on there. It has a styrofoam fixture on the in the front of that plastic there, help keeping it insulated. We don't want to tear that. So if it's too frozen with ice, we got it cracked open. Use a steamer, to melt that ice, to get it out of the way. Don't want to use a blow dryer unless you really know what you're doing. I mean, then you can spray the blow dryer over it, but those blow dryers get real hot and they'll melt the plastic. A steamer, although it's hot, it's actually very safe. Good to have, if you're a tech or even if you're just a homeowner. It's good to have one of those because it's good with getting wrinkles out of your clothes or your drapes or something like that. So using a steamer here to get rid of some of that ice so I can get that cover off, see what's going on that back wall. And on this one, I see the fan is attached to that cover, and the fan is blocked with ice. So that's why the fan is not moving. So we got to get rid of that ice off the fan. As well, then plug that back in, see if it's working. My assumption, I think it probably is. I think the fan is fine. It's just blocked with ice, so it's not moving. That's another one of the reasons why there's no air going down into the refrigerator. You see that the defrost thermostat is frozen over, but the heating element looks fine. And there's that damper shaft where the air is supposed to go in. Looks like it's blocked with ice. We're going to have to remove all of that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and try this one has a timer on it as opposed to a computer board. So I'm going to take a screwdriver and turn the timer. That timer is supposed to go into defrost every 8, 10, 12 hours. So I'm just turning that knob there, hearing it clicking until it clicks off the compressor and the condenser fan in the back. See if the heating element will kick on. If the heating element doesn't kick on, now that it's in defrost, then we know that pretty much that is probably the problem. That means the heating element is bad. And on these particular models, the thermostat and the heating element are one piece. So if the thermostat is bad on these particular models, you have to replace the heating element also. However, it is going to defrost. It's melting all of the ice. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all the ice off of the evaporator fan and also that thermostat. But pretty much the determination is the timer. It's not actually going into defrost. So being that it went into defrost when I manually turned the timer, then can say that the timer is not working or it's not rotating as it should. So I'm going to defrost the rest of this ice off of these coils, and then also get rid of all the ice in that in the damper shaft down there. And now you can see the defrost bimetal. We didn't see that before, the thermostat. So we're going to clear all the ice off of here, get rid of all the ice down there in that shaft, clean off all of the ice on the evaporator fan, clean up the freezer section and put that all back together. And then I'm going to switch out the timer. All right, in the refrigerator cabinet here, we got 2 1/4-inch screws. Going to use that. There's one at the back of the base of the control panel portion. There's one at the back. Again, those are your damper where the air comes out. Air flows through those little holes that you see back there. We got a 1/4-inch screw in the back, and you also have one here near the front. Make sure you're holding it, because once you take those off, it's pretty much going to fall down a little bit. And it's held in place by a control cable at the back through it with a Mullinex connector, and also 2 poles that keep it in place. And there's the timer. So once you disconnect it, you'll find that timer is it's not even held in by screws. It's just 2 tabs on the sides. You can take those tabs, just unclip the timer real easy. Be careful, don't break them. It won't cause any damage as far as the operation goes, but you won't be able to adjust the timer, or rather keep the timer in place if you do. The control cable there, sometimes it can get stuck. You can use a flathead screwdriver to pry it off. And then you're just going to pretty much slip the other timer on. Clip it back in place. Place the guide back on the control panel. Slip it back on the inside with the poles. Make sure it's flush after you plug it in. Make sure it's flushed, and then screw it back together, and you're all set. Once it's plugged back in, maybe the timer might be set to where it's already in defrost. You can just use, again, a flat blade screwdriver. Click it a few times until the compressor and the fans kick back on, and you're all set. All right, the freezer cabinet's already been put back together, and we should be good to go. Air is coming through the vents. All done. Thanks for watching.